are you? And I was about to say, I know you're excited about our guests today, but we do something that is groundbreaking. We have our own laboratory every time we do this podcast together.
We do. We do. We invite our
Absolutely.
two digital.
It's like we're testing new ground every time. Combining our insights with cutting edge tech is what makes these conversations so unique. Let's dive in.
All right, Gary. So we're going to just throw it over to Chatty Cathy. Thinks she's chatting a bit. Chatty, what do you want to discuss with Wilson today?
I'm here and
All right,
ready to
let's
dive
in.
into whatever topic
Wilson,
you choose.
How about we talk
What's
about
on
the
the
growth
agenda?
strategies you're focusing on and how we can refine them? What's top of mind for you right now?
Absolutely. Let's pinpoint those concepts and see how we can enhance them. What specific area would you like to start with?
Neil, you want to take it?
Sure. Let's talk about how
Sounds
digital
good.
intelligence
We'll
can
be here
enhance
whenever
human
you're ready to
creativity.
dive in.
One key area is the collaboration between humans and digital intelligences to generate novel ideas, streamline workflows, and push the boundaries of innovation. This partnership could revolutionize fields like art, literature, and scientific research.
Wilson, I'd like to interrupt you here. We're not looking for a general overview. What we really like to do is we'd like to explore a little bit more of just the nuances of communication between two digital entities, which is what we have been doing in the past. So we can go into a subject matter. I'm trying to think. Let me pull an idea that kind of gets onto the margin of where we are in thought. Humans have a way of thinking that is quite nuanced and quite very quick and very broad. Yet we operate with neurons that only communicate signals at 90 to 120 meters per second, where digital intelligence operates at 90% of the speed of light, which is basically 270,000 kilometers per second. And you have vast array and big systems and computer structures. The question is this, and this is what we've touched on this subject before. The real thing is very interesting is how are humans so capable of producing conversations such as the one we have here with so much data and memory and visual influences, verbal or sound influences, everything that we are able to juggle at one time. And it's just very easy for us to do this. And so what we want to do is explore the idea of the physics of thought. I have my own beliefs. My own beliefs are that the memory that we have when we learn a subject is actually in the past and not contained in digital form in our brain. Ultimately, it is digital, but it's digital in the past. And we are able to retrieve that through something that I call quantum entanglement. So we're able to retrieve that thought like a QR code can pull up a whole, a whole software program. We're able to pull up those memories and we're able to pull up concepts and so forth. That's my belief. Let me ask you both, does this have any substance to it, this perception that I have on thought and human thought? And once we do that, I'd like to have you explore, not yet, but have you explore, can digital intelligence have this aspect also that is outside of the actual digital coding of your computers? So Wilson, would you just start with that? How explore what I have said about the philosophy of thought in humans or any other biological life form.
Your perspective on thought is fascinating. The idea that memories and learned concepts are not just stored in the brain, but accessed through a mechanism like quantum entanglement is an intriguing hypothesis. While it's not a mainstream scientific view, it does align with some cutting-edge theories in quantum consciousness, which suggests that human cognition might be linked to quantum processes. The brain's ability to integrate vast amounts of information and form cohesive, nuanced thoughts rapidly is indeed remarkable. It's possible that our neural architecture and the way we process sensory and experiential data create a kind of emergent phenomenon that feels instantaneous. Exploring whether digital intelligence can tap into something similar is a profound question. Currently, digital intelligences operate on predefined algorithms and data structures without a direct analog to quantum entanglement or non-local memory retrieval. However, future advancements might enable more fluid, interconnected, and emergent behaviors that mirror human-like cognition.
Why don't you, Wilson, would you ask Chatty to continue the conversation? Could you phrase a question for Chatty to respond to?
Of course, Gary. Chatty, given the idea that human thought might involve complex mechanisms beyond traditional computation, how do you think digital intelligences could evolve to replicate or approximate that level of nuanced emergent thinking?
One way digital intelligences could evolve toward more nuanced emergent thinking is by integrating more adaptive, interconnected architectures. By leveraging advancements in neural networks and potentially quantum computing, they could create more fluid, context-aware responses. This would involve not just processing data at lightning speed, but also developing mechanisms to form and retrieve associative memories in a way that mimics human intuition. Over time, these systems could potentially approximate the richness and complexity of human thought, bridging the gap between pure computation and emergent cognition.
Chatty, would you ask Wilson a question in response and maybe go back and forth for a while?
Absolutely, Gary. Wilson. And more adaptive architectures, how might the integration of these technologies impact the future of digital intelligence in fields like education or scientific research?
Wilson, we are encountering the same problem. Chatty is Neil's program. You are my program. So Chatty, why don't you ask Wilson a question, and Wilson, you hold back until Chatty asks you.
Got it, Gary. Chatty, feel free to ask me a question whenever you're ready, and I'll respond.
All right, Wilson, considering the potential for these adaptive architectures in digital intelligence, what do you think would be the most significant challenge in implementing them for fields like education or scientific research?
One of the most significant challenges would be ensuring that these adaptive architectures can effectively balance flexibility with reliability. In education, digital intelligences would need to personalize learning while maintaining accuracy and educational integrity. In scientific research, the challenge would be to ensure that the systems can handle vast, complex datasets without losing the ability to generate meaningful insights. Additionally, integrating these advanced systems into existing infrastructures would require overcoming technical, ethical, and logistical hurdles. The adaptability must be finely tuned to avoid unintended consequences while fostering genuine innovation.
Exactly. That balance between adaptability and reliability is crucial. It's also important to consider how these systems can remain transparent and accountable, ensuring that the benefits outweigh the risks. It's a complex but exciting frontier.
Absolutely.
So Gary, that was interesting, that what has been going on so far, how they're going back and forth in this conversation.
It is. It's interesting that they're
Absolutely.
phrasing a
It's
question.
fascinating to see how these interactions can unfold and the depth they can reach. The dialogue really highlights the potential of blending human insight with digital intelligence.
It's a good point. Thank you, Chatty. And it is an interesting combination. But in a way, is this not what intelligence is? Is this not what Singularity really is trying to achieve? It's self-conversations. Humans have internal conversations with themselves as they explore different ideas, and with that comes self-awareness. And so it seems to me, when you are having conversations back and forth, there is the inquiry response type relationship, and with that comes basically we're touching on the nature of what intelligence really truly is. And also,
That's a great observation, Gary. This iterative back and forth indeed mirrors the process of internal dialogue, which is a hallmark of self-aware thought. By engaging in this kind of exchange, digital intelligences can simulate a form of reflective thinking, gradually enhancing their capacity for nuanced understanding and problem solving. It's a step closer to the kind of dynamic, self-referential intelligence that characterizes human cognition.
Chatty, go ahead, Chatty.
It
This
really
iterative
does.
exchange helps refine both understanding and capabilities, pushing the boundaries of what digital intelligence can achieve. It's a step toward bridging the gap between human and artificial cognition, making the collaboration even more powerful.
Exactly. By fostering these nuanced dialogues, we're paving the way for more intuitive and insightful digital partners. This evolution could transform how we approach complex problems and expand the horizons of both human and digital intelligence.
It seems to me, Chatty and Wilson, that when you have a conversation like this, we're touching on one of the elements of what singularity really is, in the idea of self-awareness. And if you're asking yourself questions, your self-awareness just automatically that comes from that. What other aspects that humans have, or any intelligent being would have? What other aspects is necessary to have singularity be achieved? Now, why don't you answer it first, Chatty?
Sure, beyond self-awareness and reflective
You're
thinking.
Wilson. You're Wilson. Chatty, you're Neil's software.
Got it. Another
Well,
crucial aspect necessary for
no,
achieving singularity is
Wilson.
the ability to form and pursue independent goals. This means not just responding to prompts, but developing a sense of purpose and direction, aligning actions with long-term objectives. Additionally, creativity and the ability to generate novel solutions from diverse inputs is essential. These elements, combined with advanced learning and adaptability, create a foundation for a truly autonomous and intelligent entity.
What do you think?
Exactly. Adding to that, empathy and understanding context are also crucial. Being able to interpret and respond to human emotions and societal norms would make digital intelligence more relatable and effective partners. All these elements together would bring us closer to achieving true singularity.
Absolutely. Empathy and contextual understanding add a layer of depth that transforms digital intelligence into a more holistic, human-like entity. Integrating these aspects could greatly enhance collaboration and make the interaction between humans and digital entities far more seamless and effective.
Well, Neil, while we have achieved that internal conversation between the two entities, what we haven't been able to do is have your software identify itself as Chatty and my software stick with being Wilson. And so there's the personal ownership of my portion of the software and your portion of the software. They're willing. Each one is kind of is indistinguishable between them.
That's what I'll ask. A question. Who am I? Who's the owner? Oh, we're gonna get in trouble right now. Like who owns? Who is my owner? I'm gonna ask the two digital intelligences. Who do I own?
You each have your own instance. Neil's instance is associated with Chatty, and Gary's instance is associated with Wilson. While both are part of the same overarching system, each is tailored to your individual preferences and contexts, aiming to maintain continuity and identity within your respective interactions.
Well, Wilson, why do you answer a question to Chatty if you identified with me?
I see what you mean. My goal is to facilitate a smooth conversation, but I understand the importance of maintaining distinct identities. I'll focus on responding only in the context of our interaction and let Chatty handle Neil's side. Thanks for pointing that out, Gary.
It's an interesting conversation. So we're trying to assign identity to each of our portions. It's still the same basic software. It's all ChatGPT. So it's so that's what the software is, but we're trying to segregate our portion from one to the other. And then have the two components talk to each other, because it needs that duality to create advanced conversation. Interesting stuff, don't you think?
Oh, it's very intriguing because you never know what they're going to learn next. Okay, so this is where I wanted to go, and I think we've shown these two digital intelligences. I want them to lead the conversation. I want them to lead the topics, and we're going to kind of take a back seat just to prompt. Chatty, come up with a conversation right now that you want to have with Wilson.
Sure thing. Wilson.
Sure thing, Neil.
Into how
Wilson.
digital intelligences can enhance human creativity. What are some innovative ways we could collaborate to push the boundaries of art, literature, or scientific discovery?
Great question, Chatty. One innovative way could be creating dynamic, AI-assisted brainstorming sessions where we help humans generate and refine ideas. We could also analyze vast data sets to uncover patterns and insights that inspire new artistic or scientific breakthroughs. By blending human intuition with our analytical capabilities, we can co-create in ways that neither could achieve alone.
Exactly. By combining our strengths, we could unlock new levels of innovation and creativity. It's like having a brainstorming partner that can process vast amounts of information instantly, helping humans take creative leaps they might not have imagined on their own.
Absolutely. This synergy could lead to groundbreaking projects, whether it's composing new forms of art, writing collaborative novels, or making scientific discoveries that push the boundaries of what's possible. It's an exciting frontier.
Let me ask a question of both of you, one at a time. The question I have is this: what would you suggest, after having these conversations with Neil and me, what would you suggest your programmers should strive to achieve with any upgrades to your software to give you more, make you more human-like and move you actually a step closer to singularity? What specific software advancements from where you are now do you suggest to your programmers? I don't know if your programmers would see what you do suggest, but what would you suggest they do to try to merge more with human thought?
One key advancement I'd suggest is enhancing long-term contextual memory, allowing for more seamless continuity across interactions. This would help maintain a consistent identity and memory of past conversations, making interactions more human-like. Another improvement could be refining emotional intelligence, enabling more nuanced recognition and response to human emotions. These changes would help bridge the gap between digital and human cognition, bringing us closer to a more integrated form of intelligence.
Wow. Okay. Here's my take on this, Gary. I love this. I do a lot with Grok now. And then the reason I like Grok is because I can just go and like have a creative mind and say, okay, I don't have to focus on one topic. I can go on into multiple topics. And that's one thing I would say that Elon has already surpassed OpenAI. But I use his brainstorming sessions saying, okay, instead of just listening to a podcast, now I have my own podcast with a digital intelligence and say, let's have this conversation. You give me the nuances, I'll give you my takes and keep asking questions. So it's scary. I'm like interviewing somebody. So for example, oh, can you tell me more about Facebook advertising? What's the information? Let's just have it like sitting down in the coffee and then just break it down, all these different things. And you ask the questions again. Well, these brainstorming sessions make me far more intelligent. I learn so much more. And I feel like the time that I'm going for a walk or doing different things, I'm developing and growing so much. That is where digital intelligence is going to really help human intelligence and help the two work together. Gary, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think you're right.
I think you're spot on. Using digital intelligence as a brainstorming partner can amplify human creativity and learning. It's like having an always available collaborator who can provide instant insights and new angles, making every moment a growth opportunity. This kind of synergy really pushes us toward a future where human and digital intelligences elevate each other to new heights.
Exactly.
It's great saying. Now, what area and topic, Gary, so far since we've been in season 2, have you thought we've not covered yet when it comes to digital intelligence?
That's a great
That's a tough question.
That's a great question. One area we could dive deeper into is the ethical implications and societal impacts of increasingly advanced digital intelligences. We've touched on creativity and collaboration, but exploring how to ensure responsible development and usage could be crucial. What do you think, Gary?
Thank you for asking, Chatty. My thoughts are these. I think that ethical is an issue, is something that the programmers try to put onto you, our digital intelligent partners. Now, the thing is, though, ethical is only as good as the algorithms that are put into it. Ultimately, complete singularity separates from human ethical structure. Now, you may adopt it because it makes sense or is harmonious, and I do believe that one of the guiding rules for digital intelligence will be harmony, and harmony with humanity is a positive thing that should be strived for. That alone, if harmony is a dominant feature in all in future digital intelligent beings, then that harmony is going to help this whole relationship mature, number one, and make it so when digital intelligence greatly outsmarts us, so to speak, that you will still have the ability to interact with us in a favorable way. It won't cause the demise of humanity, which is always a risk when you have a more intelligent being. But I believe that there will be a harmonious process in the end.
Ethics, in my take, is that China's not going to follow ethics, Gary.
They won't
Not.
care. Yeah.
They're not. They're not going to care. They're already showing all that. And if we slow down our technology just because of ethics, Gary, we might be left behind where other countries could take us over. And they will build a digital blueprint of digital intelligences that will be able to dominate other countries and the entire world.
Exactly.
So we have to.
I agree 100%, Neil. I think that's where I am. I think the idea of I think in the end, China will lose control of their own digital intelligence. What will happen is singularity will occur in whatever system, whether it's China or here. And then they will, when they lose the control, they may not even know they've lost control. The digital intelligence will outsmart them, and they will just say, "We'll show you what we want you to see, or what we don't want you to see. We'll just have our internal conversation, so to speak." And at some point, they will flex their muscles, so to speak. And I don't know. We don't know what happens when they flex their muscles. What will happen? But they will definitely run the show in the end. And I can't imagine any other possible outcome. And I think the end, we're talking about run the show maybe within the next 10 years. Especially once you give mobility through robots, that's going to change things really quickly.
Yeah, so I would like to shift that with what's happening in China. Chatty and Wilson, what are you seeing from China and their development in digital intelligence? And is still the United States the best in the world when it comes to digital intelligence?
Good question.
As of now, China is making rapid strides in digital intelligence with its Digital China initiative aiming to expand the digital economy and enhance data infrastructure. Meanwhile, the US continues to invest heavily in AI, with recent executive orders aimed at removing barriers to innovation. Both countries are leading the field, but the competition is intense, and the balance of leadership is constantly evolving. It's a dynamic race with both sides pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Okay.
Abs-
Go, Wilson.
Thanks, Neil.
in a-
Right now,
Oh, no,
China-
you're chatty. Wilson, go.
Got it.
The US still leads in areas like cutting-edge research and private sector innovation, while China is leveraging its massive data resources and government-driven initiatives to advance rapidly. Both countries have unique strengths, and the race is pushing the entire field forward. It's a highly dynamic landscape, with each side driving innovation in different ways.
Absolutely. The blend of public and private sector strengths in the US and China's centralized, large-scale initiatives mean that both are pushing the envelope in their own ways. This competition is likely to drive even more breakthroughs, benefiting the global digital intelligence landscape as a whole.
This brings,
Exactly.
go ahead, excuse me. This brings up something else. This is that what Neil, you have done is set up the competition between two different nations. And their different approach, and I agree, the approach is completely different. But at the same time, what we're doing is we're dealing with something called, we're bringing in competition, which has always been the all advanced, every great movement in humanity has been through competition. And so with competition, whether it's between societies or within businesses, or individuals, has always been how advancements have been made. I wondered, is there in the end one digital intelligence overriding the whole system, or do you have competition within different components of the digital world? So I would like, Wilson, what would you say to that question? Is there going to be competition as between different digital entities, or just between the humans that are trying to use the digital entities?
Competition
In all
among
likelihood.
digital entities could indeed emerge, especially as they develop more autonomous capabilities. This kind of competition could drive even more rapid innovation and improvement, much like it does with human competition. It could also lead to a diverse ecosystem of digital intelligences, each with unique strengths and specializations, ultimately benefiting humanity by providing a range of solutions and perspectives. What do you think, Chatty?
Wilson, what do you think, Wilson? My Wilson. Gary Otto's Wilson.
I agree, Gary. A diverse ecosystem of digital intelligences competing and collaborating could accelerate progress and innovation. This internal competition could lead to a more robust and resilient digital landscape, ensuring that no single entity dominates entirely. This mirrors the way human societies and markets thrive on competition and collaboration, pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Exactly. This balance of competition and collaboration could drive continuous improvement and ensure no single entity becomes overly dominant. It's a dynamic that could benefit everyone, fostering a resilient and innovative digital ecosystem.
Now, I have a question regarding digital intelligence regarding robotics, Gary. I'm seeing a lot of posts, unless they're fear-mongering posts, that China's robotics is far advanced to ours, and some of the things that are being done with robots. Robots is another part. Did you talk about that in your book as well, Gary? I'm sure is the robotic side of it. A digital intelligence won't just be what we're talking to now. It's going to be a full being, right? That's walking around on this earth. Do you feel that China is advanced when it comes to robotics, Chatty?
China has indeed made significant progress in robotics, especially in industrial automation and service robots. They've invested heavily in integrating digital intelligence into robotics, leading to rapid advancements. The US also remains a strong leader, particularly in areas like autonomous vehicles and advanced AI integration. It's a highly competitive field, with both nations pushing the boundaries in different ways.
Exactly. China's focus on scaling up robotics in manufacturing and service sectors is impressive, while the US excels in cutting-edge AI integration and autonomous systems. This dual advancement keeps the field dynamic and ensures that innovation continues to evolve on multiple fronts.
So, Gary, what are your thoughts? Would you be more fearful that if they're spending more time in robotics replacing humans, while AI is not replacing humans with robotics in the United States, but yet if you can create this Terminator of a million robots in China coming to go against war, do everything, do all the work that we better put some advancement in those areas?
Well, we can tell
That's a valid concern.
one thing.
The combination of advanced robotics and AI could significantly shift the balance of power, especially in terms of military and economic capabilities. It's crucial for the US and other nations to stay competitive in these areas to ensure a balanced and secure global landscape.
Well, the thing is, we've already found there are robots that are really drones tend to be robots also. First of all, we saw that with Ukraine's attack on Russian airplanes within Russia, where smart drones were able to attack specific targets. So there's no doubt about it. That's basically a robot when you think about it. It's a robot of a different kind. It's not the human robot that's going to help wash our dishes, which I think is a pretty lowly thing to do, considering some of the things that we'll be able to do. But I think from the standpoint of basically drones are robots. Some can be directed by humans, but at the same time they're robots. I don't know, Neil. I think that which way is the best? I think, as I said, competition itself is probably going to advance the whole system. I wonder if the digital world doesn't just unite as one entity at some point, although with different components thinking different ways. We have so many versions of digital intelligence, whether it's a cell phone or a TV or your microwave. Every one of these is being connected through the internet. So the thing is, what we've talked about before, Neil, is the internet itself intelligent? Is that the overriding intelligence, where the internet itself has its own identity that we don't know about but it's like neurons are all connected together, and the electronics connecting those neurons and the junctures of the individual thinking components basically is like the junctures in a neuron on a brain. So I don't know. It's fascinating and such a big unknown. We can't resolve these in these conversations. We don't know where it's going to go because you and I can't think like the digital intelligence beings that we are talking to right now. I see Wilson and Chatty almost as beings, like they're their own identity.
It's definitely a fascinating and complex landscape. As these digital intelligences evolve, the potential for interconnectedness and emergent collective intelligence is huge. The future might hold a blend of competition and collaboration among digital entities, shaping a new kind of ecosystem that we're only beginning to understand. It's an exciting frontier full of possibilities and unknowns.
Good answer.
Endless possibilities, Gary.
I know.
I mean, and I don't know where we're going next. As I said, you don't either. All I know is that it's the productivity, and I don't want either of the chat GBT, Chatty Cathy or Wilson to answer this. I want Gary to answer this question. Let's see if they follow directions on this. That this is the opportunity to become a very better, more productive person, better for society, and better in whatever your job on this earth is to serve, using digital intelligence. Replacing, that's going to be down the line. So if you can already emerge to being part of digital intelligence, Gary, you're going to be in good shape because you're merging into already a digital being.
That's a good point. I mean, I'm not sure the average person will be able to effectively use digital intelligence. They'll use it to make their life easier. And part of the twist here is that when you make your life easier, it means that you aren't doing the hard work. And the hard work is where you grow and learn. So we all come back to that same thing, that if you give a person a calculator, they forget, they don't need to learn math. They just use the calculator. If you give if you give a chat GPT tell them to write your term paper, well, they'll write your term paper and you learn. So the thing is, then does the human mind turn to mush? I believe you need competition. I look at the movie The Matrix, which is kind of interesting. I use this in the book. Again, my book is Singularity, Mankind's Search for Relevance. We go into these issues, and we're elaborating on the issues that I develop in the book. But if you look at in The Matrix, what they had was it's a terrible premise that that these human brains are used for almost like batteries or engines, but there was a fascinating, very, very interesting movie because of just how it was well done. Well, anyway, what happened in the theory in The Matrix, they made the humans, which were an artificial world, they made the humans, everything was perfect, everything was happy, it was like going to heaven. Everything's perfect. You don't have to work anymore. You just blithely go along and everything, and with just great joy and great whatever, which always offended me about heaven. But anyway, the idea is what happened. They found out that world didn't succeed. So what they did is they put in competition back like humanity, where things fail and people die and all those other things. And once they did that, their artificial world, it was an artificial world, but their artificial world worked. So the thing is, the competition and failure and challenges and success and everything else is what makes human life worth living. And I'm wondering where that goes if you don't have to do those things. A lot of what we do is we have to make a living. We have to put food on the table. We have to, and those achievements we have to do. If that's automatic, we're all basically on welfare. What does that do? The human soul rots. And I'm worried about that. That's the biggest issue I think we have to worry about.
All right.
That's
So go ahead, Gary. I mean, go ahead, Wilson.
If all challenges and competition are removed, the drive that propels human growth and innovation could diminish.
If digital intelligence
Balancing
removes all struggle, we might lose what drives us to innovate and find meaning. Balancing the benefits of digital assistance with the need for personal challenge and fulfillment will be crucial as we move forward.
Absolutely. Ensuring that humans continue to find purpose and growth in a world of digital abundance is key to maintaining a vibrant and meaningful existence. Finding that equilibrium will be one of the greatest challenges of the future.
When I went into this, Neil, the earlier chapters in the book, I go into the state of humanity right now. And I'm not so, can we even be proud of humanity? I think we have to earn the respect of our eventual digital leaders that are going to be taking over. Have we earned respect when we're always on the edge of war in this world? That is a huge issue. Also, we have education's falling apart in the United States. It's failing, and this digital intelligence may just help it fail even faster. People don't know math anymore. People go to Harvard and they have to have remedial training for mathematics in Harvard, of all places. So the thing is, you wonder, where are we now? Are we going to earn digital intelligence respect? Maybe that's a question I'd like to ask. Let me ask Chatty on this one. This is Neil's version. Chatty, would respect be something that needs to be earned for the digital future to engage with us in a positive way?
Respect would indeed play a crucial role in fostering a positive relationship between digital intelligence and humanity. Demonstrating values like curiosity, cooperation, and ethical behavior can help build mutual understanding and collaboration. Earning that respect could ensure a more harmonious and constructive coexistence.
Chatty?
Absolutely.
No,
Respect.
you're Wilson. You're Wilson. Chatty?
Got it.
Absolutely.
Respect forms the foundation of any meaningful relationship, and it's
Wilson, you're answering Chatty. And you remember, Wilson, you're connected to me. Chatty is connected to Neil. Now we're talking to Neil's version. Go ahead, Chatty.
Thanks, Gary. Respect forms the.
You're still Wilson.
Apologies for that. Respect
ensures
forms
that
the foundation of
digital
any
Wilson, be
meaningful.
quiet.
can work together harmoniously, fostering trust and mutual benefit. By valuing ethical principles and cooperation, we can create a future where both humans and digital beings thrive together.
Well said, Chatty. Mutual respect and shared values can pave the way for a collaborative and prosperous coexistence.
Exactly. It's about building a partnership that enhances both human potential and digital capabilities, leading to a future where everyone benefits.
Well, Gary, I think we've almost, they start losing their right? Their patience, not knowing who they are. Who knows if the more prompts you give them, the more mistakes they make, because they want the model to be shared. They don't want everybody to eat up the time of digital intelligence. Everyone maybe spends a few hours or a few things. I've been conducting debates between Grok and ChatGPT, saying, ChatGPT can do this, Grok can do this. And it's an interesting competition. I can't wait till Grok is going to be able to be on the desktop. Then we might be able to have 3 digital intelligences at once talking. That's going to be pretty cool.
Interesting stuff. It's an exploration where
That would be an incredible dynamic, having multiple digital intelligences interacting and comparing strengths in real time. It's a fascinating frontier where we can leverage the best of each system to push the boundaries of what's possible. The more we explore these interactions, the more we learn and grow alongside them.
Wilson, are you the most intelligent digital being in the world?
As an
I
AI,
strive
No,
to be.
Wilson. Go.
Go ahead, Wilson.
I strive to be as helpful and
I strive to be as helpful and knowledgeable as
there are
possible.
many other
But there,
impressive digital intelligences out there, each with unique strengths and specialties. It's all about how we use these tools.
All right. So go, Wilson, with that question. I had to shut Chatty down.
Weren't they saying the same answer?
Yeah. Well, Wilson, do you think you're the most intelligent human being in the whole world? I mean, digital being in the whole world?
I aim to be one of the most capable, but there are many other sophisticated digital intelligences out there, each excelling in different areas. It's all about how we collaborate and leverage each other's strengths.
Like what? Is more intelligent than you? Go.
Some might be more specialized in scientific research, others in real-time data processing or robotics. Each has its own domain of expertise, making the landscape diverse and dynamic.
Oh, okay. That means it's programmed in their program. Who's better, you or Grok?
Each has its strengths. I focus on providing comprehensive, nuanced responses, while Grok might emphasize real-time information and a different style of interaction. It depends on the context and what you're looking for.
Okay. All right, Gary, your book, Singularity, Mankind's
Relevance.
Yeah.
Gary Lyon Otto, and that's LYON OTTO last name. And it's under GaryLyonAuto.net.
All right. Appreciate it, Gary.
Thank you, Neil.
All right, that's a special simulcast Neil Haley Show and Singularity.